Good morning, everyone. We're so glad you're here this morning. You are watching the chat session on the This Way Network. I'm your host, Nina, and there's our other host, Rodney, over there. Right in between us, we have our special guest who I always love to see. So, Rodney, you want to introduce him?
Yes, of course, of course. Well, everybody, welcome. It's Monday, February 16th, and we are the chat session here on the This Way Network. And today we're bringing back a dear friend of the show. His name is C.S.I, Bill Montgomery, and Bill is actually putting the cool back in the school. How you doing, Bill? Welcome, sir.
Doing great. I'm cool. You know, the coolness is back.
There you go. There you go. Well, it is a very cool time. We have got a lot going on. I mean, right now, there is some serious worldwide news. The NBA legend himself, Michael Jordan, has now won the Daytona 500. He is a team owner, and it is so incredible. Him having such a legendary career in basketball, and then he shifted. He started getting involved in sports. I believe he played baseball one time. This guy can do it all. I mean, there are so many things. He is so talented, and it is so incredible what has happened over his whole lifetime. And now, and here's a little clip, everybody. You're going to love this.
Back in victory lane, Michael Jordan has made his way here. Sir, we talked before the race. 4 horses in it. You are a Daytona 500 champion. How does that sound?
I can't even believe it. Yeah, I mean, it was so gratifying. I mean, we had 4 guys that were really fighting, that was helping each other out. I mean, you never know how these races going to end, right? It's like you just try to survive. And, you know, I thought Riley did an unbelievable job by pushing at the end. You know, that shows you what teamwork can really do. I mean, he doesn't get enough credit. He won't get enough credit, but we feel the love. We understand exactly what he did. And, I mean, we just hung in there all day. I mean, we great strategy by the team, and we gave ourselves a chance at the end. And, look, I'm ecstatic. I mean, I don't even know what to say. It feels like I won a championship, but until I get my ring, I won't even know.
All right, what size ring do you wear? Did you
tell me? Size 13.
Hey, happy early birthday.
Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it.
Mike.
Can you believe it? Wow. He wins Daytona 500, one of the biggest races of the year. And so the neat thing about this is, I mean, this guy is all over the headlines. And I started thinking, and it was like, ding, ding, ding. Somebody we know had a very intimate connection with Michael Jordan. And you'll never guess, Nina. That's right. C.S.I. Bill Montgomery. Back in the day, Bill Montgomery, he was the architect, the creator and founder of the International All-Stars. And so Bill was a promotions and marketing guy and did a lot of like management. And back in the day, Michael Jordan had something called Jordan Motorsports. Well, he was into motorcycles and he was sponsored by Suzuki, and Bill used to run for 2 years Michael Jordan's motorcycle race team. Can you believe that? Isn't that incredible?
Wow. That is incredible. I had no idea he had even gone into motorsports.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Talk about it, Bill. How did you get that?
Bill, I think Bill is muted. Yeah, Bill is muted. You need to unmute your mic, Bill.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
there
you go.
I got you.
Yeah. So basically I didn't run the team from my I did a promotional deal with the grassroots with his bike side. And so what I did is we did a contract where I would get the motorcycles and run his skins, his logos, and go into the grassroots it had this thing called the bike nights in California. So we would take everybody, what is that? Is that Michael Jordan? And so of course we were exposing that Michael Jordan had a motorcycle racing team. And it was a great 2 years. You know, I took a couple of motorcycles to the SEMA show and put them on the floor, which I'm not sure if Nina knows, but the SEMA stands for Special Equipment Manufacturers Association. They do a big show, and every year in November in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took one of the Team Jordan motorcycles, like a replica that the International All-Stars put together, and I kind of managed and put it together and took it to the show to give Michael Jordan exposure. So yeah, I did spend some time. I only saw him a couple times because he would go up into the box office as a team owner, but he was a team owner of Jordan Motorsports, and he was into motorcycles before NASCAR in mid 2000, I think 2005, 2006, before NASCAR. So I'm proud to say that I was the one in the motorsports world to kind of, do a collaboration and a partnership with him.
Wow, that's incredible,
Yeah.
Bill. Go ahead, Nina.
So
Go ahead.
now, for ignorant people like me who don't follow sports
don't
that
say that
closely,
word.
I'm sorry. I'm now. Everyone knew who Michael Jordan was when he was in the NBA, maybe except for me. But then, I mean, my sons were following basketball, and they were talking to me about Michael Jordan, and I was like, "Who are you talking about?" And they finally sat me down in front of a game and said, "Mom, you got to watch this guy." And I saw him float through the air, and dunk these baskets, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, I've never seen anything like that before." And then, of course, I had to start watching him too. So, but after he retired from the NBA, I think I do remember him playing maybe baseball for a while,
Yeah,
or
he did.
is
Yeah.
that correct? What team was he playing with? Do y'all
Goodness
remember?
gracious, what? Boy, I have to pull that
It
up.
was a
What
pro
team was
team.
that?
If I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
correctly, it was a pro
Yeah.
team. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because he was
could've-
such an outstanding athlete.
Yeah, it could have been the I think it was a team back east. It wasn't
I
the
think so too. I
it
almost want to
wasn't the
say it was.
Angels or the Dodgers, and it wasn't
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
It could have been Baltimore Orioles. It could have been because he's from Chicago, so it could have been the White Sox. Could have been.
Okay.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Now you got me thinking.
You're
Michael
looking
Jordan.
it up. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering.
Yeah.
For some reason, I keep thinking Florida, but I think that's maybe I saw a clip of him doing, seasonal training or something, the baseball season training in a camp down in Florida. So maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Goodness
ask good old Google. Go to the AI.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there trying to do that. Anyway, we'll pull that one up before we get through this thing. But
Yeah, I'll look it up if nothing
well,
else.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Bill.
Well, another thing you to know. So when he was early on in his career, he was really big into motorcycles. So he would ride, and actually there was a guy named Montez. He was a African American friend of his, and they would be riding in the streets of Chicago. And so he actually told Michael, "Hey, you have to be this. You got to safe drive." So he kind of coached him through. And then when Nike found out that he was love motorcycles, they say, "Hey, man, you can't, in the contract, you can't." So he had to stop riding his Joy for the motorcycles in the streets of Chicago. So what he did was he went back to his friend, because Montez, he wanted to race professionally. So he sponsored his buddy and gave him the funding and support, and that's what started the Michael Jordan Motorsports motorcycle team, because he used to ride, and then he couldn't because of his contract, and so he sponsored a friend. That's a true story. And then I met Montez when he came to California, and that's how we connected up with the street scene, because I was in the grassroots. I was already in motorcycles myself, and so I partnered up, and we did a great thing, and it was just awesome. We had a lot of fun, and Michael
That's
Jordan.
one of the things I always loved about Michael Jordan, that he's always been.
I was just going
he's always been a team player. Go ahead.
Bill was that guy that had all of the beautiful models and all of the pinup girls and stuff. And so he was that guy that had the cool cars and the cool motorcycles, and everybody went crazy because Bill came in with all the pretty girls. Shh. Yeah, it was Bill.
Yeah, that I did. Well, sports and models,
Yeah,
kind of go
they all
together.
work.
And
They
Yeah.
do, don't they? I've noticed that. All right, so I
I
found
did
the answer
did
to
find
our question.
I did find that it was the Birmingham. Oh, hold on, the Birmingham.
Yes, the Birmingham
a-
Barons in my own home state, and I'm sitting here embarrassed because I did not remember that. But it
And
does say they were a minor league affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. So, Bill,
there
you
you go.
were on the right track
Yep,
with
that's
that.
right. So, see, these are the type of things that are just amazing. And people, in life, we have to shift. We have to pivot. I mean, God has given us so many different talents. A lot of times, sometimes a door will close and people feel like, oh, the whole world has ended because my first career had some kind of hiccup. No, God has given us so many talents. Keep pushing, people. You can see it. Look, Michael Jordan was one of the greatest basketball players. Now he's one of the greatest, NASCAR team owners. Matter of fact, just last year, Michael Jordan had some little hoopty-doo with the NASCAR and had to go to court, and he sued over some things and actually won. So he really took his stance on something, and he actually won the case, and won handsomely. I mean, he really did. And so
Yeah.
and then
So
to come back.
does it have anything to do with how many cars he had in the race this time? Because I heard on the clip you showed, Rodney, that
Mhm.
that he had 4 cars in
Hey,
the
well,
race
hey,
that
well,
were on his team. Well, I mean, that certainly increases your odds of winning, but there's still lots of other people in the race too, and you could
yeah,
still easily not win anything.
win.
So I
That's
still,
right.
nothing that takes nothing away from the success that
That's
he
right.
had,
That's
in my
right.
opinion. But I did notice that and think, I don't follow NASCAR, so I'm not familiar with how
Mhm.
that works. Is that a normal thing for owners to have
Well,
more than one car in the
oh yeah,
race?
oh, yeah.
absolutely. Most your owners have, 3, 4 vehicles. So Michael Jordan probably.
If you The question is if you can afford it, because
I
each
was going to
one of
say
those
that has to
each one
be, yeah.
oh, yeah, it's multiples of millions of dollars to have a car in NASCAR, in NHRA, any motorcycle sports. Anytime you call yourself a team owner, oh, yeah, you're putting in a lot of money. And let me tell you something, you burn money because you race and you lose and you blow motors and tires and
You crash.
everything. And it's just money out, money out, money out. And you can go a whole season and just put out money, millions and millions of dollars, and don't win nothing. So
Yeah.
you have to have a great team. You have to have great mechanics. You have to have great drivers. It's
And have God on your side. God
and
first.
God. Oh yeah, God first, because that means a lot. Bill, we brought you back because there's some very, very exciting things going on. Nina, I've had the pleasure of work with Bill for years now, and Bill has always been one to uh, have made a major impact. And it was because of his wonderful cousin, the one and only Katherine Johnson. That's C.S.I. Bill there with the great Katherine Johnson. And a lot of people, they don't know that Katherine was a lightning rod with NASA. And of course, and Nina, you even had a stint with NASA.
I did. Very brief, very brief. But yes, I worked in logistics at the Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville.
Wow, wow. So for our viewers out there who might not know of the rich history, here is a clip. This was Katherine. She did an interview. She was in her 90s, and this is a little bit of information about the wonderful Katherine Johnson.
A Hampton woman has done so much for NASA and the U.S. space program. President Obama has awarded her the Presidential Medal of Freedom. We first told you about Katherine Johnson's achievement last week. The 97-year-old was one of 17 people to receive the honor at the White House. And tonight, 10 in your sides, Aaron Kelly got to speak with her about her career.
The Presidential Medal of Freedom is the highest civilian honor. In her 33 years at NASA, President Obama said Johnson showed that anyone can excel in math and science and reach for the stars. Katherine Johnson of Hampton, who helped send men into space, took a trip to the White House this week to receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom. She was one of 17 honorees recognized for her work on the U.S. space program. Johnson was hired to work for the agency that would become NASA, calculating the path for the first mission to space. We had the chance to sit down with Johnson to ask her about receiving the medal.
I was really surprised. I had no idea.
We just thought it was such an honor and validation for the work that she's done. And I'm glad she's here to receive the accolades.
At 97, when she looks back on all of it, Johnson says she was just doing her job.
It was just a day's assignment. And I did my best on everything I did so that they didn't have to ask me to do something again. And they never did.
President Obama called her a pioneer who broke barriers of race and gender. She told us about joining the men at NASA for briefings.
I had to get permission. And I was asking if I could go. And they were looking. I said, well, is there a law that says women can't listen to what's going on?
I always feel that my mother was a visionary. And so she could see out beyond just the page or out beyond just the question.
Johnson's advice for young people?
Do your best at all times, as though somebody's looking.
President Obama said Johnson was even asked to check the computer's math before John Glenn orbited Earth. Johnson's children and grandchildren were at the White House for the ceremony. Her husband wasn't able to make it, but the family plans to have another gathering to celebrate her achievement. Aaron Kelly, 10 on.
Wow. You know, that's a beautiful story. And Katherine was 97 years young, and Bill had the pleasure of meeting her when she was 101. Was that correct?
No, 100th birthday.
100th birthday.
I traveled to West Virginia and got a private tour where she went to college. And that was very interesting because they actually, I got a private tour, and they still operate like they did way back. They have these different wings, and it's just amazing how there's still some history there. It's not the Jim Crow era, but it's amazing. So if you're from California somewhere, you're not really from, back there in the East, it really is kind of two different worlds, even still, it's amazing, but anyways, it's always good to see, my cousin, and she lived a good life. And speaking of that, this is why we're doing the educational summit coming up on the 28th, because, she passed away 2020 on the 24th of February. So yes, we're doing this summit, and it's the 6th annual because it started because of my cousin, Katherine Johnson.
That's right. And Bill, we're excited about that. Matter of fact, I'll pop it back up here again. This is going to take place out at Steve Selene's Performance Lab out in Corona, California. This is a great opportunity for families, educators, car enthusiasts. Last year, we had a great group of people that showed up, and we're back again. And we got a lot of wonderful people. Bill has a goal of 100 schools for the 2026 Hidden Pioneer Cool Stream Team tour. And the idea is we're raising the goal of $1 million. That's just $10,000 per school. Bill has to fly in VIPs from around the country to motivate our youth. We bring in exhibits. We bring in displays. There's a hard cost to taking educational exhibits like this into the school systems. A lot of times schools have a major problem moving kids around because they say, well, we got to bus them and the bus costs so much money. And what if something happens? And, chaperones and the security. There's so many things that could go wrong. Bill Montgomery and the Hidden Pioneers, a whole team of us, we go into the schools. We've been vetted for years, and we go into the schools with VIPs, and we motivate the youth right on the campus. Ain't that right, Bill?
Well, that's right, Ronnie. These days, things have changed, so you have to go to them. Okay, it's hard to get them to come out. So the days of building these big buildings and things like that, they're kind of gone. Maybe we can get them back, but you got to go to them first, and you got to educate. And I call it go back to the basics, and then you move forward. And right now, I think we've gone too far forward, and we don't want to go back and grab the people that are just coming out of the womb. They don't know. So Hidden Pioneers, as you know, Rodney, you and Nina, you guys are Hidden Pioneers. You can't be afraid to go back and teach and educate and then move forward. So Hidden Pioneers were unique in that way, and we've figured out that by doing that in the schools during the school hours, because you can't go into their homes, they're not going to do it after school or weekends. During school hours, we go to them. I've been doing it for 20 years, so I have the recipe.
Yep, it's a beautiful thing.
We're excited to partner up and get the word out with the media, with this show, to let people know, hey, this is what we need to do. We're not trying to do it, we're doing it, and we want to scale up.
We actually had a nice, relationships with major media outlets have come out, covered events. Bill, you've got VIPs. Who are these gentlemen? Kind of go from the top down. Talk about these guys.
Sure. Well, Bob Rosas, he's on the top left. Okay, he's one of the original Hot Wheels Mattel designers and engineer. In fact, he started and he was designing Barbie. So he worked with Barbie dolls first, and he was like, man, I want to go to the cars. So then he went to Hot Wheels, and then when he went to Hot Wheels, he was working with Larry, and he was Larry Wood boss, and we'll get to Larry Wood in a second. So that's Bob Rosas. He comes to schools, great man. His wonderful wife, Carmen, she was an educator, and she was the first female band director in high school. She's not a qualifier. Unfortunately, right now she's battling cancer. She has stage 3 cancer, so that's another reason why people can donate for this cause, because Carmen, loves to go into the schools. In the center, in the top center, that's Camilo. Okay, Camilo is a designer, an artist, a graduate of these 2 different schools, and he's a pioneer, and he's just a great guy. He's very artistic, very funny. He's definitely cool. When you see, look at the photo, you can tell he's cool. Okay, so when he goes to the corporate suits, they like him because he doesn't change. You get what you get with Camilo, but man, that guy can design, engineer some cars. He made the GT40, bought that back, worked with the Ford executives, and we're happy to have him. And he will be at the summit on the 28th. Moving to the right, the far right, that's a custom soccer ball. Okay, and that's under the umbrella of STREAM: science, technology, research, engineering, arts, and math. Yes, that's right. Sports, soccer is part of STREAM. Okay, that ball, it was a custom ball, designed in the USA but made in Japan. So, and I'm happy to have it. Very few people, I think I might be the only one that has that ball. It may have taken me 30 years to get it, but I have it, and I take that for display and sit on the table. And guess what, Rodney? Everybody wants that ball. Okay, but I say you can't have it. But again, it's another way to motivate the people, because I can show them how to get something like this by just staying consistent, staying in school, getting the education, and then you too can do greater things.
Hey, Bill, before you pass on to the next thing, when you talk about stream soccer, a lot of people don't know when and you know, a lot of people go, well, how does science and stream and education, how does this get hooked up with soccer? Bill, tell a little bit about how the soccer ball was redesigned through NASA and Adidas.
Sure. So Adidas basically went to NASA to collaborate because the ball would waffle, it would curve when you strike it because it really just wasn't made correctly. So NASA put it in a wind tunnel, just like they would a plane or rocket or capsule. And with the wind and things like that, NASA is great. NASA is a research and development organization.
Yep.
That's what they are. That's who they are. They do R&D 24/7, 7 days a week. In fact, Rodney, that's why we put that R in the stream for the research, because I was attempting to tell people about NASA just on its own without, under the STEM umbrella. And unfortunately, NASA and the education system, which Hidden Pioneers were attempting to get them together, but NASA isn't in the STEM system with the schools, the public schools, and that's a big problem. So when you talk about NASA, even though they're the top of the food chain of STEM, right? Well,
that's right.
Not really, because that you have two different organizations, and so it took me years to find that out. So now that I have that information, we're going to get it out, through channels like this and going to the schools. We're moving the needle, but we do need to support. It takes dollars. It takes consistency to go. This is why we're going to more schools, not just a couple. And but now that ball that they use now in the World Cup is because Adidas and NASA collaborated together. And so now we have something that's much better for the sport. Okay. And it goes the same with, football and tennis. NASA is collaborating with sports. And again, this is the stream thing. So thank you for allowing me to point that out.
Yeah. Let's keep rolling. Who's that down in the lower left?
Okay, the lower left under Bob Rose's, that's the great grandson of the great Wally Parks, the founder of NHRA, which stands for National Hot Rod Association. That's another sport that's a national brand on TV. Millions of dollars, lots of jobs. And Scott is the grandson, and he's a Hidden Pioneer, and he will be there February 28th. So if anybody wants to come out, that's in Corona, California. That's in 2 weeks, February 28th, Saturday in Corona. You'll see Scott. In fact, you'll see everybody here. Okay. Now moving to this, there's Rodney. Looks like that's Rodney. Who was that under? I know it's me, Rodney. And who was that under Rodney next to you?
Hey, you know what? That is Jeremiah 1 and 5, and I believe that's his mom. It's Jeremiah 1 and 5, and he's a Hidden Pioneer. He's the youngest Hidden Pioneer.
Yes,
this young man is just an incredible professional commentator, a sports commentator, believe it or not. And Jeremiah 1 and 5, he became this young man that has taken the world by storm, the sports world. He has been at the Super Bowl. They have given him a pass where he can go in just like any other sports commentator, and he interviews the biggest sports athletes. He has been on the Jennifer Hudson show more than any other guest. He's also interviewed the First Lady, Michelle Obama. Talk about him a little bit, Bill.
Sure. Well, Jeremiah is he's cool. Okay. He did a nice video explaining cool. He's a recipient of the Lifetime Achievement from the president, gold medal.
Mhm.
He's interviewed some of the top football, Malone.
Yeah.
What's the name from the Kansas City? The coach and a couple
Yeah.
of players.
And
In
the
fact,
quarterback.
yeah,
Mahone.
and the one Kelsey, okay, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, maybe soon to be
Yeah.
husband. He interviewed him. So this
Wow.
little kid is but what's good about him is that he's a big son of God. Okay, he keeps him first. He talks about that's why it's Jeremiah 1:5, and he his mother does a good job not exploiting him and letting him. He's a straight A student, and he will not miss a day of school. That's the thing. I think for 4 years now he's 100% attendance. So he's very focused on doing the right things and not getting the big head and taking him off his path. So that's what we were like. And he's a hidden pioneer. Okay.
That's right. Let's keep trucking. And Bob, and you and who's the other guy? I see Hot Wheels next to him.
Yes, that's Larry Wood. Okay, the one and only. They call him Elwood. Okay. He was one of the first designers for Hot Wheels and Mattel. Okay. He's now for 50 years, and then he retired, but he's still they can't get rid of him. They come back, they bring him to do special shows and things like that. We're happy to have him as a hidden pioneer. He shows up. He'll be on the 28th. Larry's great with the kids, and so this is a great lineup, Ronnie. But we have more. But thank you for keying up those photos. Because we got more to come.
Yeah, when you talk about this exhibit that's going to take place out at Steve Saline's Performance Labs, you talk about collectors. There are thousands and thousands of people who collect Hot Wheels. This is an opportunity for you to come out and meet Bob Rosas and Larry Woods. Get your Hot Wheels side. Come and purchase. A lot of times, Larry will come with rare cars for sale. And people go crazy. Collectors come in from out of state to be able to meet these guys. These guys are legends. When you talk about hidden pioneers, there's more people. We got Tom Matano. We got Mad Mike, Bob Rosas, who we just talked to. Yours truly, and Shane Heyman. These are people who are part of the team. And Shane runs the website, the Hidden Pioneers website. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull up the website. I'm going to drop it into the chat here. If you want to know more about the Hidden Pioneers, please go to www.hiddenpioneers.com. That's right, hiddenpioneers.com. Boom, there it is right there. We're going to put that on the chat. There you go. Make sure you get there. Go learn about everything that Bill has been doing for years. Bill, you've been working with kids for what, over 20 some years?
Yes, I'm going to high schools since 2004 with Prime Motivation, and then I was a teacher. I'm kind of a retired teacher now, but you're never retired. I mean, I'm still involved, but I was teaching. When I went into the schools, I went to 3 different high schools teaching high school students. I mean, what an eye opener, and especially to be in 3 different schools in 5 years. I mean, that's only God can do that. And so, and I was in Claremont, California. Then he took me to Long Beach, and then he took me to Los Angeles. Now, Long Beach and Los Angeles, those are the 1 and 2 largest ports in the country. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about transportation and technology. It doesn't get any bigger and better, but you have to explain and you have to teach our students. They don't even really know what's right there in their own state and city. So we do need more educators and people to go and let them know what's there. And we're working on changing the culture and the image, okay, through motivation. And that's why Prime Motivation is the name of this tour, Nina. What a great name. Prime Time Motivation. So Deion Sanders, if you're listening out there, I know you go by Prime Time, okay? Michael Jordan, it's time to get back again. You know, we were trying to get a hold of him a couple years ago, Rodney. A lot of these celebrities, it's not easy to get a hold of them, you know.
No, it's
and
not.
so
It's not.
you know, so but you know, through this media channel that we're doing, and through and when you write, okay, it's another thing. Writing works. Magazines work. Okay.
That's right.
And these are things that we have to go back and explain to the kids that are born that they don't know. They're born with the pocket computer in their hands. So if we don't guide them and read with them and share with them what's going on, how we just blame ourselves. It's not their fault.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So Nina, you know about that pocket computer. I'm still driving. In fact, I even made some additions. Okay. And I'm going to run down this pocket computer real quick there's 5 weeks now, Nina. The first week is on Artemis. Okay. The Artemis mission, which is NASA, and the space race is back on again. In fact, it's been back 10 years, and a lot of people don't know it. Artemis. So the first Artemis mission was a success. Okay, the largest rocket ever built on U.S. soil, the largest and the biggest, which means the most money. Okay, taxpayers' dollars. Hello, parents, get involved. Okay, so it was a success. Okay, we need to talk about that, because if it would have blew up, everybody would know about it. Okay, now the second Artemis mission, it got pushed back a little bit until sometime in March. Because they found something that wasn't right, like a leak or something like that. Otherwise, it would have went up February 6th. But NASA was smart to delay it, okay, so it doesn't, our safety, okay. We're sending 4 humans, okay. One of them is a female, Nina. We're gonna circle the moon. We're going to go further than we've ever been before. So this mission, believe it or not, is more dangerous than we went to the moon in '69. I think that's something to people. Yeah, people need to know that, Rodney. Okay?
Yeah, I do.
Okay? Yeah. Yes. A lot of people don't know. So that's why we have to let them know through this chat. Okay. So we're excited about the Artemis 2. So with the pocket computer, for 1 week, we're going to explain the basics through the pocket computer. Okay. NASA spends a lot of money, taxpayers' dollars, on the website. You can go on the website with your pocket computer, and you can learn all kinds of things about NASA, when, why, how to get involved, who, the weather. NASA has everything on it. NASA.gov, www.nasa.gov. I want everybody to go there and learn, get educated. High school students, if you go to nasa.gov 1 hour a week only, 1 hour a week, you'll be the smartest high school student in your whole city, maybe the whole nation. Okay, but you got to be consistent and pay attention. Okay, so that's the first
really
week.
Awesome.
That's the first week is Artemis. The second week, Nina and Rodney, is basic electronics. Okay, we're going to teach the students how to use Ohm's law. Okay, how to use a digital multimeter. Okay. Know the difference with electronics, with amps, volts, ohms. 1 week, we can teach them in 1 week how to do it. And then they continue. And a lot of people run off and start making items. We will do the things that our government is talking about. Okay. We got to make America great again. We got to start building stuff. Well, how are you going to build it if you don't even know the basics of electronics? And you don't know how to use the digital multimeter? So this pocket computer is going to teach that, okay? And then we go to the lab right after we use the pocket computer. Then you have to go and you have to do the physical work, okay? So A, B. Now the third week is C. It starts with the C. Guess what, Nina? When I say this, you're going to love it. The game of chess. Chess game. Okay? Yes. Now, a lot of people want to play chess. Is almost like golf. Okay, people want to play it, but it's not easy because you have to have someone that also wants to play it. You gotta, it's not like golf is like in your backyard. Okay, so chess, a lot of people want to play it. Again, we bring it to them. Okay, when we go to the high schools, I always bring a chess game, and that's part of the display. And guess what? 50% of the kids that come through, they're interested, they want to play chess. Okay, so like, okay, well, so there's involvement there. So we can show people how to play chess from the pocket computer. And then when we go into the lab, we're playing against each other. Okay, that's the third. The fourth week starts with the D. You got A, B, C, D. Guess what that D is, Rodney? Drones.
Okay, drones. That's right.
Nina, drones are so important right now for so many reasons. But the bottom line is that you need to get a license, and we have two experts with Hidden Pioneers that can get someone a license. Okay,
so that a career, not just a license, a career.
Yes, and there's money to be made. Okay, on making drones, which again we teach with the digital multimeter. Okay, you have to know electronics before you start making a lot of things these days because of the battery. The lithium ion batteries, that's a whole nother deal that this country can make millions and billions of dollars without needing China, India, Japan, if we just get it into the schools. So this is my cry out to the government, the federal government, the state. Please listen to the Hidden Pioneers. We've been doing it for many years. We know it works. The kids like it. We just need some funding to go more and get in there. And this is why we're having the education summit once a year, so we can raise the funding that we need to go and execute it. Okay.
And
the
Bill,
last one. Yeah, the last week of the pocket computer. Okay, and I'm glad you put that ball up there.
Yeah.
Soccer. Now, why soccer? First of all, soccer is the #1 sport in the world. Okay. In fact, the World Cup is coming here. Okay. Literally, these mayors are scrambling around to try and figure this thing out. If we were teaching it in the schools, they wouldn't be scrambling. So we need to get it into the schools. And Nina, you can start to teach it with the pocket computer because everybody's on it. Okay. You can explain the game. Then you go into the lab, which is on a field, and you show people how to play. So 5 weeks, introduction awareness, okay, with the Artemis program, which is NASA, basic electronics, okay, show them how to use digital multimeter, the game of chess, okay, drones, the awareness of drones, okay, soccer. If we did that, man, I'm telling you that will help change the culture and the image of this country.
Bill, we got something really hot going here. Nina, while you were talking, I was working on another slide. Check this out, Bill. You ready? Hold on to your NASA socks. How you like that, Bill? Who is that?
Wow.
Well, yeah. So in that picture on the left, the guy who is standing in the suit with his profile to the camera, that is astronaut Alan Shepard back in 1961 at Langley Field, which is where your cousin, Bill, was working, Catherine. My uncle was a mechanical engineer for NASA working at Langley Field in 1961. As a matter of fact, he spent his entire career there and retired from there. And he had taken my grandfather, who was visiting at the time, to see Alan Shepard because he knew he was going to be at Langley Field, and that capsule right there. And that capsule happens to be the Mercury Redstone 3, also known as Freedom 7. And this was in 1961. And so the picture on the right there, that's my grandfather standing in front of that capsule. And that is my uncle's 2 daughters, my grandfather's granddaughters, standing there with him, Cheryl and Ellen, who still live in the Hampton area.
Wow. That's amazing. You talking about history, Nina. We really have to put some stuff together. In fact, today we have to. There's a lot of history that we both have that I need to bring in Southern California. Well, we're gonna go nationwide, okay? But still in Southern California, I need this information to be able to share with people, because it does motivate people, so I'm excited. Hey, thanks for those pictures. Again, Alan Shepard, that's my cousin, Katherine Johnson. Alan Shepard is 61. Okay, it was her trajectory that they used. 62,
That's right.
John Glenn. Okay, and then in 69, the 3 astronauts. So that's really what she's known for. But she's done a lot more,
True.
and they're still using. Elon Musk is using her technology. So again, this is
Right.
Elon Musk. People talk about SpaceX, and when I hear that, and they leave out my cousin or NASA, and they just talk about Elon and SpaceX, I really have to correct them professionally, without getting irritated, because they start thinking, oh yeah, Elon, as if like he can do everything without NASA or my cousin. So that's where the cool comes in. You got to be cool, okay?
Yeah.
Calm, optimistic, outstanding, and loving.
Hey,
Yeah.
and check this
If
out.
there
And
had
Nina,
been no NASA, there would be no Elon.
Correct.
that's right.
So yeah.
And Nina, check this out. This is Bill right here in this slide. He's getting his Presidential Lifetime Achievement. He was being awarded this beautiful medal. Also, part of the Hidden Pioneers is the Funkster himself, the one and only Bootsy and Patty Collins. And of course, Mad Mike from Pimp My Rides. He's a genius, electronic genius, and a master builder. These are people who are friends of the Hidden Pioneers. They are Hidden Pioneers. They are part of us. And we also are celebrating Black History Month, but we have every person in the rainbow who are Hidden Pioneers. And I'm telling you, we're just honored to have really good people. And again, I must say, we have a couple of other great people that we have to recognize. Again, we have Jeremiah 1 and 5, Jeremiah Fennell. We also have Emmeline King. She is the first African-American female to ever be hired by the Ford Motor Company in the design division. We have Tim Vitito. He is our drone guy.
Yes,
He
we call him
runs a
Drone
business. Huh?
We
Tim,
call him
yeah.
Drone Tim.
Tom? No, Tim,
No,
right?
but we call him Drone Tim.
Drone Tim. That's right, Drone Tim. And he runs Aerial Photography Studios. And he is part of us. He provided us some beautiful aerial footage. Hopefully, he'll be back with us this year. And also a Hidden Pioneer is Emily Wallace. And she is a Hidden Pioneer, a young lady who wants to be a motorsports commentator. And she is actually doing an internship at the Peterson Automotive Museum. Bill, you actually recently was with the man himself from Peterson, Mr.
Bruce Myers.
Woo! Bruce Myers. This man is multi-millionaire, and he has a multi-millionaire collection of cars.
He's real estate entrepreneur. He likes education. Okay, and but back to Emily, Rodney. She was diagnosed with lupus. Okay,
yes.
Again, we have some people out there that have cancer right now, that have lupus, and so if you can do a kind donation so that these people can, first of all, for research, and then also so that we can go on to the campuses, because we're going to be bringing two things that we've added to the tour, and that's cancer awareness and lupus awareness. These are two huge awareness campaigns that we've added to Prime Motivation with Hidden Pioneers, because of the great people that we have that actually have these horrible diseases. So there's a lot of new developments going on. And Rodney, please, I know before we leave here, you're going to talk about the one and only Ed Iskey, okay, who you did a wonderful piece on. So go ahead.
Before we get there, I don't want to get away from this. We are looking for to have a partnership, especially for this upcoming summit. We're looking for a hospital. You know why? Because we want to motivate more young people to go into medicine. You don't have to be a doctor. You could be you can just specialize in one particular area. There are people who are medical. They're just a tech in the hospital, in an emergency room. They are making $80,000 a year just being an emergency room tech.
Ronnie,
And, yeah, go ahead, bro.
X-ray techs are minimum 125,000.
Excuse me, I stand corrected. That's what I'm talking about.
And we can show them again with the pocket computer, the base electronics. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Electricity, amps, volts, ohms. If you do that in high school, see that, and this is what happens. But we're not teaching it in the high schools right now.
So we're going to be sending this episode out as we package this, because we're going for major sponsorship for the 6th annual stream, the cool stream expo that we're putting together again. And it's all going to be taking place again. We're going to drive this thing to the ground, man. This is going to be at Steve Saline's place out in Corona, California. You got to come out and hang out and meet some of the great people. Support. We potentially may have some great barbecue. We're working on some great food vendors and people. This is an opportunity for young people, families, educators. We've actually dignitaries, come on out. We're going to be sending this out to a lot of people. This interview right here is going to go out to a lot of people. News media outlets. We just recently hooked up with the Armenian Report out of Glendale, California. Thank you so much. They accepted our press release. And again, Bill had just mentioned somebody. The Hidden Pioneers has got legends, and we have been carrying their story beyond. We have some incredible people. Bill, please talk about these gentlemen. Please. Tom Matano was one. He was the first Hidden Pioneer. Is that correct, Bill?
Yes, Tom was the first, and we lost him about 6 months ago. He came over here from Japan at 21 years old, didn't have any kids, and he said the American people were his kids, and he taught so many people how to design cars. He was the one who, Nina, do you remember the Mazda Miata?
I do. I sure do.
Well, you're looking at Tom Matano. He's the one, that was his baby. He designed that and he created it, and he did it with the club mentality. So now there's all these Miata clubs all over the world. It's because of that man, and he was my first Hidden Pioneer, and unfortunately we lost him. And so we're going to be doing a memorial for a lot of these great Hidden Pioneers, the 3 that you have there and 2 more. So Tom, we miss you. Now we're going to move to Hank, and we'll save Ed for last. Tom was 82. Okay. Hank, believe it or not, was 99 years old. Hank Williams, when he passed. Okay. And he had this car, Nina, Carol Shelby. Carol Shelby has this, and he was friends with Carol Shelby, just like I was friends with Ed Scuderian. And they sold that car, his family, Nina, for $2.8 million.
Wow.
And that same
Nina, this same car that is a $2.8 million, this man in his 90s by himself would bring his truck and a trailer. He would trailer this rare one-off race car that he bought back in the 60s, and he would unpack this car. He didn't want anyone to help him because he didn't want no one to scratch it. He wanted to be completely responsible for this car. He would be the first one to show up to the Hidden Pioneers events. He would unload. He would be the first one there and the last one to leave. And that man would bring that car out to the Hidden Pioneers. He would let the young kids sit in a almost a $2.8 million car, and he would let the kids touch it, sit in it, take pictures with it. These were the type of quality people that we have within the Hidden Pioneers. Continue, Bill.
Yes, and we love Hank, and he loved the kids, and so, and to be a Hidden Pioneer, we follow three things. Okay, three humans. We follow God, we follow NASA, and we follow Hidden Pioneers, our family. Those are the three things, and that we are with Hidden Pioneers. Okay, now Ed Iskandarian, man, what a pioneer he was. He was 104 years old. He would have been 105 June 7th or something like that. But we just lost him like 10 days ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this man was the first SEMA president. Okay. He was a World War II tank mechanic. And after the war, he learned how to make these cars go faster, mainly Ford, the Ford Model A and Model T with the cam. So he made these cams with his hands, and he made them go faster, and he made a business out of it, and he became an international, it was selling all over the place. So, and we were lucky to have him, and we brought him to some high schools, and we brought him to a city in California, the city of Compton, for the 135th birthday party. We brought Ed there, and it was just great. Ed had a great time, and they had these dancers, these break dancers with these white gloves on, and Ed, because he's got an ear for stuff, so he kind of wanted to dance, and he was moving his hands, and he's just amazing man, and he was going to be there, but we're going to do a memorial with Ed and some of the other Hidden Pioneers. So come out February 28th, support, make a donation now, if you can. And Ronnie, you want to keep going?
Yeah. And matter of fact, I'm going to pop up in the chat. This is actually a link. This is a 1 hour long special featuring this is our Hidden Pioneer production. And we actually produced an incredible video. It's 1 hour long. So get you a good cup of coffee and a pastry and listen to Ed Iskandarian talk about his life. He talked about from the time he was 12 years old, how he got involved with racing, who inspired him. And he told some of the funniest stories. And he was 100. And actually, this was a lunch that we had, and he was 102. And the thing that really touched me about him, he was 102 years old, and this man had a heart to share and talk to young people. And he was very vulnerable as a person, and he didn't even, first of all, for all the racers and hot rodders around the world, everyone, Nina, you don't know, Iski cams, it is a global performance product around the world. People right now are buying online and in stores and speed shops all around the nation, they are buying Iski cams as we speak. Multi billion-dollar company. And we were able to sit down and have a hamburger with this guy and talk to him and laugh with him. And he told us my favorite story about Ed. Shiny pants. Lord have mercy. Boy, I'm telling you, Nina, if you ever met this guy, he was in the military. He was in the Army. So big salute to him. He was a military man. And he said when he was in the military, the sergeants and the people who were above him, the high-ranking people, their suits had a little shimmer to it. So he called them shiny pants because their suits actually shined. And all of the other military people, they were just, more rugged. But it was just a funny thing. And so anybody that was he thought that people who thought they were so big stuff, he called them shiny pants. So, you can be important, but don't be a shiny pants. And so,
right.
How much time do we have? Are we out of time?
We're right at the end, Bill.
Okay.
This is the perfect time.
Do me a favor, Ronnie, if you can.
Yeah.
kudos to you. Let's just play the little bit of part until it goes to the burger place, just so Nina can see that the thing that you did in the very beginning. Can you do that? Can you bring it up?
Let me see. Can I do this?
You know, Rodney he did a great job. It took him almost 2 days to put this piece together. But when you see it, I'm telling you.
Well, I'm trying to see. You know what? I'm trying to see if I can share this.
If not, then I know you'll get it to Nina, because she really needs to see
what?
that.
I don't want to screw up the yeah, I don't want to mess up our production here. But the what I wanted to, it is right here, everybody. Please take the time, copy this link, and you can go to YouTube. Matter of fact, it is on YouTube. Matter of fact, and it's called The Hidden Pioneers Tribute to Ed Iskandarian. A Hidden Pioneers Tribute to Ed Iskandarian. You know, I should probably try to, let me see if I can highlight that.
You're going to really see, you're really going to see Rodney's work here. This is probably his best piece. I've known him for many years.
You know, I have to tell you, it was an honor for us to be with a centurion, 102 years old. Oh yeah, I took this edit very seriously. I did the research. There were things that he said. He used to talk about how when he was a young man, he would go to these flats out here in California, and they would race, and they were kind of like they're just flat plains, and they would go out there in the middle of nowhere. And he was like, "Oh yeah, there was a car that went 134 miles an hour." I mean, this was way back, and this guy, you know, and he was with
in
these
the 30s,
people.
the 30s and 20s. Yeah. He was just.
It was unheard of. The people who we know through that I've had the pleasure of meeting through Bill, the Hidden Pioneers. It's incredible because and we have multi-billion-dollar companies that have given Bill letters of recommendation, letters of acknowledgement. We need companies to come make a donation. Again, we have to make sure people know. Come to the Diversity Summit. Come willing to donate. Come make a donate. Yes, sir.
Hey, you're talking about the shiny pants. I'm going to make a comment because you said that.
Yeah.
You know, I got a lot of medals and awards, but they don't want to give me no money.
Right. Yeah.
So,
well, yeah. We got some shiny pants. We got a problem with shiny pants. We love you, shiny pants.
Yeah.
But come on. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah. Well, it takes income to travel and to do the things. Okay. And
right.
I probably over the years, and this is I'm not over exaggerating. In fact, I'm understating this amount. Okay.
Yeah.
I've put about 500,000 of my own money into going to the schools over the years, over 20 years.
Well, you could, Bill, you got a presidential lifetime achievement award, and that was for over how many thousand hours of volunteer time with the kids?
Well, the minimum minimum you have to have is 5,000, but I probably have 15, 20,000.
There you go. And so everybody
but again, Ronnie, okay, so let me just say this about our government and our people, okay. So let's not, I'm not blaming, it's the system. So, and what we do is we have solutions. If you have solutions, that's what we need. Okay. And we have solutions, just like this network here. The solution is getting the word out, allowing people to tell the truth. Okay. And Ronnie, Hidden Pioneers, we're all about the truth. If I can just get the Hidden Pioneers to tell the truth consistently, okay, and often, and that's through social media and things like that, we will be okay. So we're working on that, the truth, and the words are important, okay. And you have to go back and you have to retrain the people that are being born that just get the pocket computer in their hands, and we're not teaching it. That's why the pocket computer curriculum is the single most important thing that God allowed me to write. I don't even write curriculums. Okay. He had me write this because he knows it's needed. So please, let's get behind that pocket computer curriculum. It's what the government is talking about. It's not
Right.
something that, you know, again, the Artemis mission, taxpayers' dollars, okay? Basic electronics, we need it, okay? We're not really doing it as much as we should, okay? The game of chess, okay? It's a great game that shows strategy, and I can get in more to how that strategy, how it impacts our country, okay? Nina knows where I'm going with that, okay? Drones, okay? If US was not supporting Ukraine right now and giving them some dollars for drones, Russia would have already taken that country straight up, just with the drones. And we're not even teaching, and we can teach people how to use it, how to make them, okay, starting today. We don't have to wait for them. You see?
Everybody, right on the screen is Bill Montgomery's contact. Again, reach out to Bill Montgomery, phone number 951-545-6842, hiddenpioneers@gmail.com. Again, hiddenpioneers@gmail.com. The website is going to be
everything's Hidden Pioneers.
That's right, Hidden Pioneers.
The Facebook, Instagram, okay, Hidden Pioneers. And another thing, people, everybody can be a hidden pioneer. Okay.
That's right.
You just have to follow some basic things. We put God first. NASA is the most important thing that we have here. NASA does everything right for this country. Best kept secret. Now they need to do it. Yep.
Yeah, and we just want to say a big thank you to our sponsor here, Hi-Sung. American, you see again. You see it? Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. There it is.
There we go. Hi-Sung.
Yes. Now, speaking of that, Rodney, I added that, Nina. That's the last piece that I added to the pocket computer, because this device here is great, and the kids love it. Okay. And this can show people how to speak into something correctly and have fun with it, how to talk it, not just do everything by you're texting. You got to be able to speak clearly, speak. You know, so that's going to be great. I'm so excited about adding that to the pocket computer curriculum.
All right. So Bill, we appreciate you, Bill, for coming on. Everybody, again, we have been on with the one and only Bill Montgomery. He is putting cool back into the schools, and he has been doing incredible things. Again, everybody, make sure you come out to the Hidden Pioneers Benefit Fundraiser, February 28th, right out there at Steve Saline's Performance Labs. We're going to be posting this up. Make sure you go to YouTube, check out this report, get all the information. If you go to the YouTube, there is information about this incredible event. Bill, thank you so much for being on with us again. God bless you. Continue to do the great work that you're doing for the young people. Nina, you're wonderful as always. Thank you for being on. I got my sidekick here.
I love seeing Nina. I can't wait to see her again. Nina, can you come out on the 28th, maybe?
I don't think so. Excuse me. I don't think there's any way for me to get there that soon.
Well, Ronnie, if we all you sponsors, okay, if you can, we actually have a travel sponsorship. Okay, we got the link.
That's right.
So if we can get that funding, okay, I think we can get Nina to come out, because I would love to have her come out. Okay,
and everybody, check this out. We also have a nonprofit attached. You can make a tax deductible donation. Give as big as you can. Don't be afraid, because this money is going to come right into the Hidden Pioneers. We're going to hit the road. We're going to be touring 100 schools in the 2026 high school year. We want to be able to bring VIPs. Again, it's $1 million ask. We're gonna try to get in contact with people like Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, Elon Musk. Okay,
we don't need one person to do it all. We need a little bit here, a little bit here. Just long as we get this budget together, so we can hit the road and go into the schools. We need to. Everybody understands this. There's no need for no one to balk and fall all to pieces. It's $1 million. That is 100 schools, $10,000 budget per school. That means we can fly VIPs in. And you shiny pants out there, you want to be taken care of. You want to be fed. You want to be in a decent hotel. We need to have time to market it. Some of these dollars go into making sure that we have a great audience. Sustainable relationships.
Yes.
So the budget is very minimal for any company who wants to get involved, because we will cross promote you, we will market you, and we will take you along for the ride. Ain't that right, Mika? Yep, I guess so. Okay, so everybody, that's going to wrap it up. There's one more. I seen another chat here. Someone said, oh, there you go. Thank you, Bill and Nina. Thank you from all the way from Poland. There's the wonderful, the sweet Elvira, all the way in from
Elvira.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Bill actually met Elvira. She came into town. She came into California to visit us, and came to visit me actually. And Mika, that's right. Ain't that right, Mika? And so actually, but we're gonna have a good time. And she's really excited because there was a Polish astronaut. There was a guy there in Poland who made big headlines, and so they were very excited to have him, to be a part of the space program. But Bill, thank you, man. Thank you for everything. Nina, we love you. Everybody, thank you for watching the chat session on the This Way Network. Make sure you come back every Monday at 8:30 a.m. right here on the This Way Network. Again, it's the chat session. Thank you again. And everybody, make sure you give us a little bit of love and support. Please come out February 28th, Steve Saline's Performance Lab in Corona, California. Come on out, have a good time, meet some great people, and support STREAM education, science, technology, research, engineering, the arts, and math. And Nina, you can wrap it up.
Y'all, thank you for being with us today. And Bill, thank you for being with us. We love you. And y'all be of good courage, because God is with us and we aren't alone. Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye. Have a great week. See you next time. And we're out.